So, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of VF Franchise Consulting team and Mathnasium, we would like to welcome you all to our webinar today. We have a very interesting brand to introduce, which is successful already in 5 continents with more than 1,000 centers worldwide. So my name is Robert, and I'm the Director of Business Development for VF Franchise Consulting. I'll be your MC for today. Couple of reminders. There will be a Q&A session at the end of our presentation, and you may type your questions in at any time in the question box at the bottom of your device. Please end them with a question mark, and they will automatically be stored for the Q&A session at the end. Before we hand over to Mr. Bill Schreiber, who is the Executive Director of International Development for Mathnasium, to give us all the information that he has prepared, we would like to take just a few moments to introduce our company, VF Franchise Consulting. So our company has operated in Asia for more than 12 years, and most of our team, including myself, we work out of the Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam office. We also have a presence in Singapore, and we have partners in many countries around the area, including Indonesia and Thailand, the Philippines, Korea. So whether you're a franchisor, a potential franchisee, or a company looking to expand in Asia, our experienced management team can help you. And you'll notice here, we keep our portfolio of clients quite small as they're handpicked by us. And they only include ones that we are very confident will be successful in our region of the world. So you can see some very well-known brands on our list, a lot in the F&B and the education sectors. So Ace International, Helen Duran, Scholastic, Little Caesars Pizza, Texas Chicken, Mango Tree, and of course, the reason we're all here this afternoon, Mathnasium. Now we have 4 main divisions in our company, and we operate in about 20 countries across Asia. And the first division of our company is our Franchise and Business Services division, which really provides a wide variety of services to help companies expand both in their own countries and regionally. We often also help companies to turn their own business or brand into a franchise and use that to do so. Basically, we can help companies through the entire process of expanding their business using the franchising or licensing models. Now, the second division in our company is our sales and marketing division. So we provide business development services throughout Asia for international brands like Mathnasium looking to enter the region or certain countries in the region, but also brands who are looking to expand from one country to the other in our area. And our specialty really is finding brands, master franchisees or area developers, not just looking for single unit expansion. And as you can see, between our own activities and that of our regional partners, successfully more than 20 countries in Asia, the Middle East, and the Asian Pacific. And our third division focuses on assisting companies who need things like market entry studies, competitor research, feasibility studies, or a wide variety of other short-term projects. And lastly, we offer several different training programs specifically about what we know the best, which is the franchise industry. So everything from franchising basics, or buying a franchise, how to do it right, or why you need to franchise your business and how to do so. So here is our contact information. We are based in Asia. We know the markets here. We know franchising. And normally our team regularly travels around the region for business matching events, expos, project work, and seminars like this one. Obviously, we're limited at the moment, but hopefully that will get back to normal soon. And we are happy to schedule private calls with you to discuss our services or any of our brands that you might be interested in. Now that you know who we are and what we do, let's jump right into our Mathnasium introduction with a very short video, and then we'll introduce our guest speaker.
Owning a Mathnasium franchise gives you extraordinary financial opportunity and the power to change the lives of children. That's why Entrepreneur and Forbes rate us among the best. We have over 1,000 centers open worldwide, but the massive demand for after-school tutoring continues to grow. Hundreds of communities are underserved, waiting for a Mathnasium to open. The startup costs are low, and the support is world-class. So, get started today. Contact us to change your life and your world for the better.
We are pleased to welcome Mr. Bill Schreiber from Mathnasium. So I'll turn over the webinar to you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to learn about Mathnasium today. And I hope that we can talk to you about how to change the life of children, which is really what we fundamentally do at our business. We are a business that only deals in one deal, and that is how to change the world through teaching children from the first grade through the 12th grade how to be better at math. Math, as we know, is universal, used worldwide, and is students, they need to understand and comprehend it. The big thing is not all students can do that. So what we've offered is a business that can literally change the world. So the nice part that we're able to demonstrate is that, one, we do it around the world in 5 continents plus the United States. 2, we've been recognized for the efforts and things that we do that help children become more proficient at math. Robert, do you change the slides or do I? Thank you. So our mission is really the business of changing children's lives. The one thing that was noticed over 20 years ago is that a lot of students, as they started to enter into their educational life in the first grade and second grade, began to struggle with issues regarding with math. It could be for a variety of reasons. Maybe they didn't have a math background or the opportunity to have in-depth conversations and learnings about math didn't quite occur where these students particularly were at. Our founder wanted to help their students understand math so that they had a better chance of being able to effectively go through their educational years, understanding math, but more importantly, getting better at math. So the mission that we got into, and we've lived this, is really the business of changing lives through teaching a proprietary system of learning math. I think anybody will find as we demonstrate it to you, it's remarkable, it changes lives, and more importantly, it's something that sticks with the student all the way through their entire scholastic years up to university. Why we're number one? Well, we're over 1,000 centers. The nice part about it is we can reach children around the world, and we're looking to, of course, expand by doing that throughout Asia and Europe. We have a very low cost entry, which is typically the biggest barrier for a lot of people who are interested in becoming franchisees or master franchisees have to deal with. We can get you into the business for under $150,000. We also, because of COVID, were able to quickly develop a program, what we call Mathnasium at Home. We were the first to be able to do it. And the thing about it is it allows instructional our programs through at home or the internet so that students didn't miss the important things of continuing their education through math. This is now part of our offering as we're moving forward as the portfolio if you become a Mathnasium master franchisee. We have a very simple business model. It doesn't require huge startup costs, doesn't require huge footprints. It also doesn't require supply chain issues, food issues, and things along that nature. So the nice part about it, when you have a simple business model, you're able to concentrate on the business and not concentrating on all the side things that prevent you from being able to start that business correctly. There is a great demand for math. We've seen that and know that throughout the world right now, that there are a lot of students, because for whatever reasons in their country, are suffering that the math teaching is just not strong enough. And parents who want their children to be successful in life are looking for a business, but more importantly, a program that helps their children be successful. The nice part about it is we have generations that have been involved with it, and they understand the Mathnasium method. There is no rival to us. We have an exclusive way we teach math, and we have found it to be very effective. And this is really supported by teachers, tutors, and educational systems around the world. We do exclusive protected territories. We do a master franchise model, but it's built around pretty much families that want to be able to teach their children math. Affluent is part of it, but it's also families that understand the education of their children is important. We have unparalleled results, plus a terrific value and great flexibility for busy families. Everybody knows around the world, so much going on. And so families have to have the ability to be able to have different programs, different schedules, and things that allow their children to still be able to get a great education while being flexible enough for their children to be able to also enjoy other things. Huge potential to open up multiple locations in countries. That's the nice part about it. And as a master franchisee, the way and the ability to do that is that you bring on other people to help you grow the business. And we are reviewed. We've been awarded for franchising excellence. We know what we're doing. We know how to do it. Our training and support is barred. Nothing better exists. So we're pretty excited about what the comprehensive franchising and master franchising we can offer. Next slide, please. Why parents choose us? That's the big thing. There are our competitors out there, and everybody teaches math. There's companies that teach math. But the biggest thing is, why do parents choose us? And if you can look at the chart and see, it's really about the things we offer that allow our students to excel because of the way we teach math. So improve academic grades and boost test scores. That's all the outcome all of us are looking for. Right? We're no different than any of our competitors. But the biggest thing is how we go about building confidence that even extends beyond teaching math. We personalize lessons plans to their children, not a comprehensive plan that is cookie cutter, and we just apply it to every single student. Each student gets their own individual plan that allows them to excel based upon their needs and their abilities. We really teach critical thinking, which is what we hear, one of the biggest opportunities for children around the world. The ability to think beyond just math, but more importantly, how I'm going to excel as I grow, and not only grow in math, but grow older. And effective with students at every single level. We can go all the way from basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, all the way up to calculus. And the nice part about that, every plan is developed so that each student progresses based upon their skill sets. We share detailed progress reports with parents. Parents keep telling us they want to understand how their children are doing and how they may be able to help. We provide that as part of our model. The most important part is for busy families and things that are going on is that we offer flexible scheduling that benefits both parents and students. With the addition of the in-home, you now have the ability to not only go to a center, but do in-home, but parents can also be more involved. The thing about the flexibility is we can teach through weekends, we can teach nights, and we can teach days. It's just up to the students to decide what they have the availability to do, and we work around that. One of the most important things that Mathnasium takes to heart is that we want to help students prepare for university exams. They're important all around the world. We understand they're important, and part of our fundamental mission is to help students prepare for that. We want to be able to regularly verify results through an independent third party, and that's exactly what we do, which is why we're ranked #1. Independent people tell us that. We're very priced competitively with everybody else in the market. You may find some less expensive. some more expensive. But what we understand is the value for what you're paying is the result of what your children get, which is the most important thing, because that builds the long-term business model. We help students with homework, alleviating school night stress. That's one of the things that we've learned over the years. So we offer that to our children. And we don't give them additional homework that adds on top of what they already need to do in their normal scholastic duties. So that's why we feel parents have been choosing us for well over 20 years now. Next slide, please. What is a master franchise? Master franchising is actually quite unique in the industry. When you look at so many of our competitors, but more importantly, of other industry, master franchising allows you to become the franchisee of a particular country and or area. So in the most US companies or Western companies require that you become an area developer. You take a responsibility for the opening of X number of centers or units, and then you have to be able to open those based upon a schedule. A master franchise operates much differently. You still take on the ability to grow an area or a territory or a country, but you only open up 1 unit or 2 units. The rest is opened up by sub-franchisees that we help with the criteria, how you choose them, and they become your franchisee, and thus in turn you share in the model of being able to build a business. Each country and each territory is determined by the number of centers that could potentially be fit into that area. And more importantly, we don't try to overgrow it. What we try to do is be very reasonable about the number of centers that can go into a country so that each center has the greatest potential for being successful. The royalties and revenues are shared between us and you, but we give you all the full support to be able to help grow these franchisees into successful business units, thus in turn you sharing with the upside of these businesses becoming successful. The nice part about it is it's the same concept taught, and you get the ability to lead a huge business in some cases or oversee other franchisees and become a business leader. Next. The opportunity is really unique, prestigious, and it's just not offered very much. We're looking for right individuals that take charge of our expansion into untapped markets. And we can talk about those markets if anybody's interested. Again, with a simple business model, no supply chain issues, no expensive equipment purchases that you have to deal with, and then low investment for each unit, the ability to attract qualified sub-franchisees is a lot easier than trying to do it for other particular verticals. In rapidly growing markets, there's a huge demand for private tutoring services. We predict, and the industry tells us, that it's a $260 billion market by 2024. When you look at how much is spent in today's dollars, the upside is amazing in what's available to any master franchise that comes on with us. It's got to be more than rewards beyond the financials. We change the lives of children, families, and communities for the better. It is our mission, and it's what we live by and have for our entire existence. We want children to be successful because, one, we see them as the future, but two, their ability to be able to feel good, to understand math, to be able to feel confident, gives them the ability to achieve the dreams they're looking to achieve, and more importantly, their parents want them to achieve. We're an award-winning franchise system. We're not new. Industry experts support our reputation for excellence in training systems and support. We continue that, and as we grow the brand around the world, we'll continue to add to that system supports and training. And for instance, in Asia, our entire support mechanism is actually based in Asia. We have proven scalable success. We have over 1,000 locations, and we're opened up worldwide since 2002. and we're opening more rapidly. Of course, COVID added to a lot of companies' issues, but we do have new countries that will enter in this year. Next slide, please. It's a superior value for you. There's a lot of fine print in there, but I can sum it up in the way you look at it. When you look at the internal investment and you amortize it over what the growth curve is, the value to you as a business operator is amazing because of the unit economics. When you grow the number of students in your center, it is amazing how it compounds the revenue model. But more importantly, value has to be determined in a few ways. The second way we determine value is how we affect students and the value of education. So we look at it as you can create value by building a profitable center, by teaching many students, and that helps build a great business model for yourself and a great business for yourself. But the value we're offering to not only you, but the children we teach, the parents that we help, is beyond any cost that they ever pay. And we're excited to have that ability to be able to do that and help people around the world have successful business models, given the proven techniques, systems, programs that we can offer and give to you to help you grow your business. I'll give a little time for people to read through the print on this one, Robert. Our teaching methods are proprietary. They were developed and it really talks about the way we transform the way children understand and appreciate math. Math can be feared for many students for some reason. What we wanted to do as a company, and our founder wanted to do, was take those proprietary teaching methods and take that fear away. So the model is based upon how to appreciate math, and this has come through years of development and millions of dollars invested. It features comprehensive assessments. Assessments are critical to understanding where the student's at. In order to be able to help a student, you must understand where they're currently at and how to start. And that's what we do. This is not about preparing students to master tests. It's really about helping them understand where they're at and what the plan needs to look like and the model needs to look like and what needs to be applied for them to really help them begin to appreciate and not fear math anymore. Every one of our plans are fully customizable. We don't have a cookie cutter. Everything is built upon, again, what the student's needs and level of expertise is in math, and we can in turn build out the system and then be able to track that as they progress through. It's time-tested, proprietary teaching methods, and more importantly, localized curriculum. Every country, that we have found has different standards they may use, different ways they teach math. And what we do as part of our business model is try to localize the curriculum so that the student doesn't see something that doesn't make sense to them or that they haven't seen before. Unmatched in the education industry, we're constantly refining the localization of our teachings and programs to make sure that the student is always getting the very best. The more important part is teaching for understanding. It's great that you can put things up on a board and hope that a student does it, or you can take the time for the student to understand it and take an approach that drives true math comprehension. By doing that, that allows the student to retain that information and use it as the foundational building blocks as they're going through and learning higher math as they move forward. The important part is the confidence that it builds for children. When children see that they can achieve, when they see that they can do math, and it's not something to be fearful of, and that it's something that they can comprehend, they can be successful at, it's amazing the confidence it builds in them and the ability for them to go on to the next level of math, which some students struggle with. We are very proud of what our system and our programs and our proprietary teaching methods do. And that's why we consider it the best in the world. When you look at the history of what we've done, we go around the world, we teach in many languages, we do it in different countries, and we've learned how to be successful at teaching math around the world. Next one, please. Mathnasium at Home is really new to us. It came about because of COVID. We were talking about this in our company, and then of course COVID hit and everything was beginning to shut down around the world. Since we had already started this, the nice part about it was our really superior IT team was able to bring up Mathnasium at Home within 3 weeks. Now, it had to go through some growing pains and learning pains and everything else, but the nice part about it is we were able to teach math through at home, which was something no other companies did. And now you see a lot of companies that are bringing internet learning on, but we're very proud of what we offer. We have a proprietary system. It's web-based, but more importantly, it still allows the customization for each student and the ability to be able to teach that student via their in-home. It's in real time, face-to-face learning with the same instructors they were used to using in the center. That's the nice part, is the continuity that we're able to keep with that students makes them feel comfortable, even though they may not be in a classroom setting. The nice part about it is as we move forward, Mathnasium at Home will become part of the business model and is part of the business model, so that it allows the master franchisee and sub-franchisees to continue to reach out to students and reach them in places where the students sometimes can't always get into a center to learn. The nice part about it, it's an additional stream for the franchisee that didn't exist less than 5 months ago. We're really excited about the success of this program and what it's meant, more importantly, to children, that they didn't all of a sudden stop being able to learn math and the progress of their education stopped. We were able to move forward and help them continue to move forward through this entire scenario. The initial investment is really, this is kind of standard stuff, but I'll break it down for you very thing. You can see to build out a location is actually very inexpensive. The size of the location depends upon where you're at. The most important thing we know, and I know from being international work for so many years, cost of real estate can be very expensive in countries. So what we've done with the Mathnasium at Home is learn to be able to lower the cost and size of the fixed asset, i.e. the building. The nice thing about it is we don't have any equipment purchases. We don't have any kinds of supply chain issues we have to pay for, distribution issues. Everything is done online. On the first one, where you look at the initial investments for the territory, that's not a fixed cost, folks. This is totally determined upon the number of centers that the country is going to hold, and the ability to be able to work with that number can happen. The rest of it is really build out. All of our furniture for classrooms come from IKEA. So if there is IKEA in the country, of course, we can do classrooms for very inexpensively. In terms of the rest of the fixed costs, there's some signage, and for at home, of course, there's computers. But otherwise, there isn't a whole bunch of cost involved with opening up a center, which is the nice part, is your investment piece is substantially low. I'm happy to answer any questions with anybody regarding a particular country that they may be interested in, because again, everything will be based upon the number of centers we're talking about. And at that point, I can help be more definitive to help you understand initial investments. All right, so the steps to becoming a master franchisee is really not complicated. Since 2002, we've helped many people discover the benefits of owning Mathnasium, and we're continuing to do that today. To let you know, I've been doing international business for over 25 years. I've traveled to 124 countries and been involved with other brands and helped them grow successfully throughout different portions of the world. So I do understand the international form, and more importantly, I understand doing business internationally, especially in Asia. So the biggest things for you and I to have a conversation and really talk about, what you're looking for, what you would like to be. And I can be more than happy to have a Zoom call with you. We do what we call an RFC, which is really just an application process. You'll attend an executive webinar with us in the leadership team. And then you can visit a Mathnasium Learning Center in one of our regions or nearby regions if you want. I can tell you in Vietnam, we have a very successful master franchisee who has grown the business and is very happy today. But more importantly, we are very excited about what he's doing for the children of Vietnam to help them grow. We'll soon be opening up in other centers in Asia as we move forward. Be happy to talk with you about current things going on, what our support levels are. We even have the opportunity for you to look at an at-home training session so you can understand how our business works, but more importantly, how it works for you. We typically bring people back to Los Angeles, but of course right now that's all being done virtual because as everybody knows, getting any kind of entrance anywhere around the world is becoming pretty difficult. And then there's the typical, once we go through the process, and if you're awarded a franchise, there's the typical legal paperwork that needs to be signed for agreements. Next, please. So the biggest thing I can tell you is let's talk. Our mission is very clear and very easy. We want to help children. We want to help them grow. We want to help them learn, and we want to help them become the best they could possibly be. Understanding and having a comprehension of math is critical to children's success, and we understand that. Let us help you build a great business, but more important is help you also help children in your particular country or location so that all of us are rewarded for a great future, including the children we teach. Thank you.
So thank you, Bill, for that valuable information. I also specifically would like to thank you for joining us live this evening. You know that it is in the middle of the night in the U.S., so we appreciate that you were able to join us. As a everybody on the call, we are going to have a Q&A session, so please enter your questions into the chat at the bottom of your device, end them with a question mark, and we'll go through them one by one. But just to give Bill a break from talking for a few minutes, we have one more short video that we would like to share with you, so we'll do that now.
I used to hate maths. We would do exams and I would get like one of the lowest grades.
I mean, she had such disappointing results. You know, when you're doing the homework and then you're sort of it's like, why don't you understand that? I had been looking for a maths tutor and I found Mathnasium on Facebook.
That was brilliant, Maddie. Maddie's a really diligent student. She's got a great rapport with all of the instructors as well.
I loved the whole space when I came in. It was so bright.
All of those fractions are linked together.
It's just great that she can come here and I don't have the pressure of having to sit down and try and pretend that I know what I'm doing.
It's going very well. We did an exam recently and I got one of the highest grades.
And she came home, she had a big smile on her face.
Perfect.
My confidence has grown because I used to be quite shy and quiet, and now it's kind of built me up as a person. So I think I'm getting smarter.
That's great to hear.
It's been brilliant. The big change in her over the love for maths is huge.
Okay, so nice, another video for us. We do have quite a few questions. So let's start. And Max asks, what do you look for in a franchisee?
Well, thank you for the question, Max. What we look for in a franchisee is somebody who wants to be devoted to helping children. It's real important for us. It's a business, and we want all of our businesses to be successful. That doesn't change. But the want and willingness to help children grow, to help them be successful. A lot of people feel we're looking for people who are educators, have experience in it. That's not what you need. What you need is a desire, but more importantly, basic understanding of business and how businesses work, some P&L understanding, and we'll help you with the rest.
Okay, good. And here's another good one from Cleo. So Cleo asks, what are the critical success factors for this franchise?
Great question, Cleo. We look at the critical success factors. If you're looking at it from a financial point of view, the system is built upon the number of students that you have in, and that would be a success factor is how you're and the number of students that you're teaching. If you're looking at it from internally, it's how your students are progressing through the program. So when you look at if you get a student from the second grade, let's say as instance, and they're struggling at that level of math, but you begin to apply all the proprietary systems and everything through our business consultants, they can begin to monitor how the success of those students are doing. And then we can begin to understand those success factors, because that means we're effectively helping children get good at math. And that's really the main core purpose of the business, right? The other success factors are how you're growing and the number of students you're reaching through additional centers that you're opening through sub-franchisees. So that's something we help with too from our full support standpoint. So, but thanks for the question, Cleo.
Thanks, Bill. Actually, we have one more from Cleo, which is a good one. How much money do I need to open a learning center? So I know that you reviewed this a little bit in the middle, but maybe you could summarize once again for everyone.
Well, under a master franchise model, Cleo, the only thing you have when you sign a master franchise agreement is the first center is your responsibility to open. There's a franchise fee of $40,000 and then the additional money to build out the center, i.e. Desk and things along that nature. We feel, and what we've seen based upon Vietnam, based upon the UK and other countries, including Australia, is that you can open up a center, your first center, and if you want to include the franchise fee cost, for somewhere around $50,000 to $55,000 US. If you amortize that fee, you can do it for less than $15,000. And then your sub-franchisees, you have no cost involved with opening up the centers. They bore that cost as part of the model. Thank you.
And you just touched a little bit on the franchise fees, which of course may vary by territory. But Cleo asked, what about the royalty fees?
So the royalty fees are, again, dependent upon what unit we're talking about. If it's your first unit and you're running it, the royalty is 6%, and that's it. We don't charge marketing fees. We help you devise marketing programs and have the access to all kinds of marketing that's done throughout the world, but we don't charge a marketing fee. A sub-franchisee, the royalties are different, and then of course the franchise fee that is paid that we talked about is split between you and us, and I can go into more detail with that should we get to that point. Thanks.
Okay, so we got a good question from Max. What is the average return on investment?
Well, it really depends upon the number of students you got, and if you're looking at an ROI from a year point of view as to when everything returns your money, it really is. We can show you through when we go through our conversation. We can show you a financial model that gives you a return on investment. Just to let you know that it can range anywhere from 16 months to 34 months. But it's all really dependent upon the number of students that you're enrolling into the system. Our goal within the first year to make the ROI very strong is to get ourselves above 75 students and closer to 100. Thanks, Max.
So good. So Tara asks, how many centers do I have to open and what is the required investment level? So I know you kind of covered as the master franchise, but what would normally be the total number of units, Bill, maybe for a territory?
It depends on the country. That's Tara. I wish I could give you a more definitive. If I knew the territory, I could potentially help you understand that because every country is uniquely different. And we do have an actual formula for the number of centers that go into a country. We don't just base it upon population. There's other subgroups that are taken into account. So the number of centers will be dependent upon that. The required investment level, again, depends upon how many you personally want to open, which is the requirement is only one, and that's because it becomes really the training center, Tara, for your sub-franchisees. That's your only real required investment level. And then the other thing would become how many additional centers you may want to open. We always look at it as if there's additional need for training centers, you should open it. And Vietnam does that, by the way. They have a few centers that allow subs to be able to be trained. So that the same message from the master franchisee is getting out all across the system. In terms of you have to open, that will be decided between you and us in terms of a development schedule. Thanks, Tara.
Yeah, thanks, Tara. And again, for everybody who was listening, please contact us afterwards with the territory that you're interested in, and we can help you with some more details, especially on the financial side. So we have a good question from Cleo. Thank you. She asks, country has many math centers. How will Mathnasium compete?
Cleo, we get this question all the time, and thank you for asking it. There's always going to be competition, and there is competition. We know our competitors. Kuman's one of them. And so what we do is how do we compete is because of our proprietary system and our success rate. But more importantly, it's what parents say about once they have an opportunity to try us. Any place that we've gone into, we are rewarded because of the way we do math. And we're not looking at a math center to be just a student mill to get students in and out of. It's really the mission we live by. And we compete with that is that changing children's lives requires the effort. And Mathnasium competes with that. We know we have the right program. We know we've got the right training skills sets, the right materials, the right localization of the product that we can rise above any of the competition that we face in every single country in the world. And that's not going to change. There'll always be competition. But the thing we pride ourselves on is the investment our company makes into making sure that our brand stays competitive, up to date, and the ability to still continue to change students' lives. But great question. Thank you.
Yeah, great question. Okay, we have another question. I don't have experience in franchising. Can I still explore this franchise?
Sure, Chris, you absolutely can. Franchising is really just about the ability to want to become your own business person. What you're looking for is, hey, you might not understand it, but it's the tools and everything available to you to be able to go out and become a master franchisee. Yes, because that's what we provide as part of our full service. We give you the tools, the skills, and all the things needed for you to be able to grow the business. Of course, it depends upon the country you're in and the territory we're talking about. But yes, you can absolutely explore. That's the great part of franchising. You don't necessarily, at least our franchise, you don't have to necessarily understand franchising, but being able to understand business and how to apply what you're taught to make your business grow is important. This is so much different than getting into particularly like the food industry. You know, you got to have experience to do that. So that limits them on their ability to be able to franchise. Thanks, Chris. Great question.
Okay, just a couple more questions. So a different Max asks, would American-style math work in Asia? And how does it?
Great question. So that's Max. Does it work in Vietnam? You bet it does. Our average center in Vietnam has over 500 students per center. And so it works. But I wouldn't call it American style math because we localize. So we know that each country has different standards. They have different ways of maybe the way they approach math, the way they teach math. What we do as part of the opening process is we go in and work with educators or tutors or people that know how the system works and then work to localize our system to that country style. So yeah, it does work in Asia and it already does. So we know what to do. But thanks, Max.
Okay, and our last question, which is one that I'm sure a lot of people are concerned with. Bill, can you tell us how the centers are doing, today, how they're handling the COVID pandemic?
Well, and I'll give Asia as an example, okay, because it's, we've got centers throughout part of Asia. In the initial part of the pandemic, we suffered, I think, like everybody else did. Vietnam, took a hit. Hong Kong took a hit. Shanghai took a hit. So Australia took a hit. So there was, the typical thing is you lost students. However, with the at-home mathnasium and then the ability to be able to bring learning centers back online through the internet or through Mathnasium at home, and now with a lot of countries, Vietnam is back to normal now, where they weren't before. Now we do know Da Nang had an outbreak of COVID, so the 2 centers that were in Da Nang had to be closed temporarily. But the rest of the centers are reopened, and again, it's a day-to-day basis. So have franchisees suffered from? Yes, they have. But I don't think they're any different than anybody else, Gloria, who has experienced this problem throughout the world. The nice part is we see the upside to it. We're beginning to see students coming back. The more important thing is we have students that are now doing both at-home learning as well as in-center learning. And it's appealing to more parents now because of the flexibility that a lot of parents are working from home. So they're trying to figure out to make sure their children are still not missing their math lessons. So I hope that answers your question, Gloria.
Perfect. So again, thank you very much, Bill, for joining us. Your evening, our afternoon. And on behalf of the whole team, we'd like to thank everybody for attending today. We will follow up with you all by email, so please keep an eye out for it. We will share some information. We'll share the links to the videos so that you can take some time on your own to review. And please remember, feel free to reach out to us if you'd like to discuss any of our services in franchising, business, legal services, and especially if you're interested in bringing Mathnasium to your local area. So again, on behalf of VF Franchise Consulting and Mathnasium, we wish you a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and this does conclude our webinar for today. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.